I finally know what I want to talk about now. I said what I want to talk about. This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the concerning of my mother for these last few months being down and being not able to walk and use the right side of her arm and her leg and stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, man, it hurts me really bad. I can't describe, but I'm feeling some type of way. And the last few months it ain't been easy, but the only person that's been giving me the energy and the strength is the Most High. People always say, um, they'll tell you things like, "Well, you got to give it to God." I'm always giving it to God. I do. And just because I have moments in my life, just like you have moments in your life. Everybody has moments in their life and have those moments where they go through things. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I'm speaking from the mind, from all my whole heart, mind. It ain't no, um, you know, just imagine, bro, being down. Just imagine you froze. You want to move and you can't. I don't even want to even imagine that. Just imagine just what makes it even worse is when you look at your loved one like that, in that kind of shape. Just imagine you got to depend upon somebody is to get the poop and the bladder, your urine off of you every single day for months or maybe years. I wouldn't even want you, your family, nobody, I promise you, to be in that situation. I really don't. It don't look like it right now, but I'm eating up on the inside. I'm in pain on the inside. I am. I'm in pain. But just to look at me, just talking and speaking now, you might look and you probably be like, "Oh, he just, oh man." But I'm here to tell you, I'm strong. I be strong. Don't get me wrong now. I pray. I talk to God like the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel, the God of the Bible. I do, and I still is. It doesn't make me a cop out. It doesn't make me a quitter. It doesn't do that. It's just that so far she's doing good. She ate early. I make sure she get her food on time as possible. It's washing clothes and stuff like that. I make sure she do that. I definitely do, and I love. Let me tell you something. I love doing it. It's giving me a deeper experience, and it's also it teach you a deeper side of love. And I'm being it teaches you how to love. It teaches you to love people the right way. It really do. It teaches you. It, those are the morals of this. The moral of this this experience of waking up every day, making sure this person is good, making sure they got their water, their food, they everything, so they don't be in no kind of pain, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad, I'm so thankful that the Most High God has taught me to do that. I'm so thankful that He has taught me and brought me to this level in my life. If I didn't know it was going to be this that my mother was going through, I would have been cussing everybody out that I could think of that called her or that hit her up on the phone and gave her nothing but drama. I probably just had to, I'm just saying, if I didn't know it was going to be this, because years ago, uh, no, I'm not going to even say that side right now. I don't think I should. She told me that she had a dream that it was one of my family. A family member had gotten down, and she was like, she said it was like me and you had to take care of him. And I'm like, whoa, this was years ago before we moved back here. And I finally understand it now. And when I do be in there talking to her, or when she going through something, she gets frustrated at times, and I understand why. She gets very frustrated sometimes, but most of the time I can't complain. She really been strong, even though, you know what I'm saying. And I told her that and I mean that I'm gonna be with her throughout the whole process. I can't let it go. I will not let it go. I will not. I refuse to let this person suffer in the hands of a so-called nursing home, or so-called whatever you want to call it, rehab or whatever the hell. Because let's just be real. I know the truth, and you know what I'm saying is the truth about these so-called organizations. We know, the vast majority of us know, that these people in there, they don't care about nothing but making money off of you. That's all. Because think about it. I would want somebody, if it was me, I ain't gonna be sitting there now. I want to say this here. Don't think I'm attacking nobody. I mean, I'm not attacking any of the people or whatever. And I'm gonna come back and talk about something in a separate video. It might be on my other channel. Um, some people will walks up to me, and just imagine how I feel when I hear it. They'll say, "Well, some people want to help, but they can't." Okay, that's different. That's totally different from wanting to help somebody versus that's your duty is to help somebody versus people being selfish. It's three different things. So you can't compare, well, I want to help, but I'm not able to do it with a certain situation or whatever. You may not can do it the way that brother do it or that sister do it or whatever, but there is something that you can fight for. If you believe you me, from my experience, if you really want to do something positive for your family member, for your auntie, your uncle, your daddy, your whatever, there's always ways around where that person, you can help that person. It's always a possibility. Then putting your people in a so-called healthcare facility or this and that and the third. Now we are living in a generation to where most people don't care. And let me explain to you, I'm gonna have to use biblical script for that. Let's go to Matthew 24. All these things is prophecy, what we dealing with. My mother's in that sleep right now. She been asleep for a couple hours now. So she doing good. She ate good. Gave her a big balanced diet. I gave her before I read this out, I fixed her, so I cut up some two two sweet potatoes. I cut them up in big chunks, put a little margarine in there, and I put about maybe 2.5 chunk of butter in them. I put it on the stove. I didn't see no nutmeg or nothing like that, so I just used regular butter and a little bit of water, and I just let them just slow steam cooked. And I did put a little sugar in them, but not too much. Well, you can barely know it's in there. You can't even tell sugar's in them. Made sure they wasn't that sweet. Fixed that. I fixed us some baked chicken. I took about four pieces of baked chicken. I took like a fork knife and stabbed each one of them with holes, rinsed them off. After I did that, I put them in the pan and I got me some black pepper and I just seasoned them from one side to the other side. Just like that, I seasoned them both. Then I took me some water and sprinkled water over it. So when I put it in the oven, they have holes in them. For one, the reason I put the holes in there to where to help the heat cook it through to where the chicken would be very moist and it would taste really good. So that's what I did. Guess what? I did not use salt, none of that. I ain't use no salt. I don't put no salt in none of her food. And it still be really good. I fixed some beans probably a couple of days ago. Some small red beans. It was like the small kind of ones. And I put bell peppers and I cut up an onion, put onions in them, and I put, yeah, bell peppers, like I said. Then I put a little bit of Himalayan pink salt in them. I did do that, yes. I put Himalayan pink salt in them, and I filled the pot up with a lot of water, and just shook the black pepper in there and the garlic powder in there, and I put some liquid smoke in them, cooked them. Then I turned around and made some homemade corn. I made some cornbread from scratch. Everything was good. I had on the side. What did I have on the side? I had some juice, but it was like didn't have no sugar in it. Hardly it had sugar in it. It probably had about 2 or 3 grams of sugar in it. Uh, the juices have natural flavors in them, natural sugars, I should say. And I used that, and then I gave her that. Um, and I gave her baked chicken and some candy yams, which I cooked. And what else? It was something else I gave her. I gave her corn. I put some cornbread. I just put different things on that. If you go look at the videos, you'll be able to see that. But this thing about this stroke thing, every now and then it hit me hard, some harder than what it hit me hard a lot, but not as bad. I can pretty much laugh. What I try to do is just play with her. I be playing with her face, trying to make her laugh. I just get her laugh just to get through the pain or something like that. Sometimes she'll laugh and sometimes she'll be sad. And then when she give me a certain look, a certain way, it be's funny. Sometimes it be's funny and stuff of that nature. So sometimes she get frustrated and she have a fit, and I have patience and I understand because nobody wants to be down like that, you know. And when people say, well, some people not able to do certain things, and I tell them like this here, would you have that same energy if it was you that was down and you couldn't do nothing for yourself? Would you sit there and say, well, I understand you ain't able, and just keep on, you know good and well, you ain't gonna sit up there and have that same energy. If you're hungry, you want somebody to come feed you, give you water, put food on the table and take water, wash you off, clean you up. You know you're gonna want somebody to come and wipe all this stuff off of you, the bowels, the shit, and all this stuff off of you. You know you ain't gonna sit up there and have that same energy saying, well, some people are just not able. You know, you're not gonna have that same energy. You're not gonna keep that same energy if you was in that situation. Because you know what I'm saying? So stop it with the BS and with the games. You already know what's going on. But I used to tell my mother all the time. I used to say, I think, in my honest opinion, you need to cut off most of all of the people that's bringing that stuff into your life. You know, that's what I told her. I think you need to do that and change up your friends and stuff. And she would give them the benefit of the doubt sometimes, which is nothing wrong with that. But Yeah. And yeah, it hurts. Like I said, it has me in pain sometimes mentally. Sometimes mentally. Yeah. Sometimes it does. I never would have thought that our mother would have been in a situation like this. I never would have thought. And yeah, I never would have thought it to this day. I sometimes I wake up and I say, you know, man, if I could have done something and knew the past or knew the future before it even happened, man, I'd have been jumping on that like mad, the mad man, trying to. Yep, I definitely would have done that. And it's hurtful, and it ain't a day, an hour, every second of the day. A minute goes by, I be in pain mentally. Sometimes I know. Sometimes it make you mourn. It makes me mourn sometimes, physically mourn. I get emotional. I'm not going to lie. You know. Yeah. So I was just sitting up here just meditating about it, and I'm praying for the Most High God is to continue to give me the strength, the physical strength in my hands and stuff, and arms and stuff. Is to continue, is to roll this on out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yep. And I guess if you try, sometimes you can try to explain pain and hurt, but sometimes it doesn't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I ask God, what is the purpose of this? Sometimes I do. What is the purpose of it? I have moments where you don't want to be in no condition like that. You just don't. Yeah, sometimes I have my moments where I talk to God, I consult God and ask Him, what is the purpose of this here? You know, sometimes I ask Him, what is the purpose of it? And then I guess I have to remind myself the scriptures in the Bible. Yep, yep. They got this song ringing in my ears, bro. It's called Fight for Love with All My Heart. It's just ringing in my ears. It actually come out of a movie that I used to watch years ago. Yeah. I guess it's a reason why it happens like that. Put it in the comments if you give me your thoughts on that, y'all. But I definitely be mentally in pain, and like I said at the beginning of this video, the only thing that really keeps me is God, the Most High. That's it. You know. So you know what? I guess I was falling asleep from, I guess, staying busy, working hard. and stuff like that. They're trying to make sure she's good and stuff like that. So I don't want to like look weird, make the video look weird, drawing it out. I'm sitting there falling asleep, like what the hell? So I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk some more on this topic. But it bothers me some. I mean, not bothers me, but it's hurt. It hurts sometimes, you know. But you know, I pray and I talk to God all the time, you know. But sometimes you just gonna have them days. You still gonna have your moments. You know, you gonna have your obstacles in the way. Just like when the children of Israel, when they was in the wilderness, in Mount Sinai and different things like that, they had their moments of where they cried. They, you know what I mean? They did different things, and yeah, yeah, they did. They got through it though. So I'm gonna get through it. You know, this was my way to talk it out. So I'll be back, y'all. What I want to talk about is the my mother's situation that she went her 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 struggle, her situation that you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to think. I just want to talk about this struggle that my mother underwent last month, couple of months ago. hmm What I want to talk about, what I want to talk about was my mother's experience of struggle. What I wanted to talk about was my mother's experience with struggle of what she went through. And what I wanted to talk about was a struggle of having a severe stroke, how it bothered me. Okay, I'm trying to